do that instrument approach, and then you can take off again from the same airfield. Yeah, you can reach somewhere else. Okay. Just 24,000 airports, so yeah, free to go wherever you like. And we'll shoot an instrument approach on the second one. Yeah, a bit more of an airline style approach. A little bit more attention on the instrumentation, which obviously you're quite familiar with. Yeah. And the third stage is to go and have a look at some of those more interesting approaches around the world. Kite is one.
I wouldn't really say that, yeah.
Good, yeah. Kite is fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Really great. Have you done it before on the sim?
I have tried on the sim.
Yeah, good. And if you're happy with that, then we'll run with the sort of usual programme. That first flight, is there anywhere in particular you would like to go?
I don't know, try Manchester, I suppose.
Yeah, okay. Alright.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Alright, so there's probably not a lot of technical stuff we need to talk about then. Just that you're going to be on the left hand side. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Would you prefer to sit right?
No,
left's
yeah.
fine. Good. Alright. Well, we're going to have to check it all out and then
yeah.
also see what you think in terms of where you want to put the cameras and things.
Alright, great. Thanks.
Great. Alright, let's go.
Thank you.
Okay, Steve, if you want to jump on the left hand side, I'll just reposition us for Manchester. Rudder control only during takeoff and landing roll. Yeah. You sort of don't really use the rudder too much in the jet. We'll just go around the cockpit very quickly, just sort of point out some of the components, which I'm sure you're quite familiar with. Yeah. And then we'll program the FMC. Just clear up these actually. Do you have the PMDG stuff?
I have got them, but I've never used them because I've only just upgraded the computer.
Okay.
And it was the app just wasn't powerful enough for it.
Right. So. They're really great, those PMDG programs.
Yes.
And there's lots of videos on YouTube about the operation of the FMC and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Great, okay, well this is the overhead panel, which is really the brains of the operation. Controls not only what we see here on the flight deck, but also the bits and pieces you need throughout the rest of the cabin. We won't interact with that too much today, it's all sort of set up, ready to go, engines are running, all that sort of stuff. The only thing we've got to do is just put the route in and then program up the MCP. This is obviously the MCP, otherwise known as the autopilot. Again, clearly labelled so you can see exactly what we can tell it to do. We will fly manually today, unless you really want to engage the autopilot at some point. That's completely up to you. But we'll still set the things we're looking to achieve there because it's good practice, and we can see it there on the PFD. So engine gauges are all in the middle. CDU is here with the nav display by the right side. Primary flight display on the left. And there's some flight directors up there. Throttle quadrant is here. See, engine 1, engine number 2, your reversers are there. I can get the landing gear and flaps for you if you like. And this here is just a communications console, so it's always traffic control, which we won't do today. The only thing we'll need is the nav comms for the ILS and all that sort of stuff. We'll do that a bit later. Great, so if you want to program in the route then, we're at EGCC, so just key that in here, EGCC, and then just assign that to the origin, so top left there. And I think if we, let's go to let's go down to Heathrow, EGLL, and assign that. And then all we need to do is execute that, so press that button there below the light. And then we just need to put an arrival in, so if you press departures and arrivals, and select arrival. Perfect, okay. And we'll just, anyone you like, ILS 09 left or right, or 27 left, right, it's completely up to you, anyone will do.
Let's get ILS 27 left, 27 left.
And then execute that again. And then in order to get it onto the screen, what you have to do is press the legs page. And you see how this route does discontinuity problem. So what you do is you select the second one down, i.e. that one there, and then just press the one above it. There you go. And then execute that. You can see now you've got a route direct to so it'll be a straight out visual departure and then turn right towards the track. Okay. Instead of travelling down towards Heathrow. If you just press edit ref here and select the takeoff page. Just a couple of things that we've been given here now. One is the trim setting, 2.80. This will be the same thing as your SciTech as well. Trim is on the electronic trim on the control column, so left hand side. So we want to set that at 2.8 or 3. It's indicating about 5 at the moment. Search for that'll do nicely. And we've got our V's. In fact, let's change that. If you just reset the trim now to 4.11. It's not. Yeah, okay. It's thereabouts. You know, it's the only way you can do it. That's the way it is. Okay, good. So it's a flat 5 departure trim we've set, and we have our V speeds here: V1 120, rotate speed's going to be 125, and your V2 is 130. We're going to add 15 knots to the V2. Maybe that 4, 5. It's just a bit of a buffer. Okay. So it's the V2 then that we need to put into the MCP there. So if you want to put 145 in there. Great, our departure heading is already set, runway 05 left and heading 054, and we're going to climb to 10,000 feet, so that's good. All we need to do now is select the RTO position of the auto brake, so if you just select that one. I'll select flaps 5. Perfect, there you go, we're all set up ready to go.
Yeah.
So just do everything that you would normally do. I'll just talk you through it all. Takeoff power setting, you can either go to full power or you can go to the takeoff power setting, which is 93.8% power. Right. As you move these thrust levers forward, it opens up the gate here, and it's the top of that gate that you want to set on 93.9. As I said, you're more than welcome to go to 100% power. Maintaining directional control, obviously with your feet, as you normally would do. And as a pilot monitoring, I'll call out V1 rotate when we get there.
Okay.
And off we go. You'll find you'll lose sight of the runway fairly quickly on rotation. It's a fairly high nose attitude. When that happens, just sort of glance down and fire your flight directors.
Yeah. Right.
If that's okay with you.
Yeah.
Good. Alrighty. Yeah. Well, I'm ready to go whenever you are.
Okay. There we are, V1 and rotate. Perfect. Good, now what we can do is lower the nose to 10 degrees. Yeah. And this is what we call acceleration altitude. We lower the nose, clean up the configuration, bring that line down to you, and then we select off our intercept heading. Good. Off you go, turn to the right. Yeah, that's it. Reach. Alright, I'll give you a direct track. That's it, and just give that thrust a big push forward now. Good. Great stuff, well done. So we are tracking towards there we go. Tracking towards East Midlands. Let's see where we'll start with this end. That's it. Perfect. Just roll the speed fairly nicely. So we've got 32 miles to go, so we probably want to start the descent now, really. Yeah. And the way to do that is just to pull the thrust levers all the way back to idle. Good, and then just set about 2.5 degrees nose down, which is basically where you've got it now. And back to
compared to what was used.
Yeah. Let's just give it a little bit more power now, just probably about 50% head more. That's perfect. Yeah. So East Midlands Airport, just out to the right there. There's a power station which is just to the north of East Mids, and you can see that just out to the south there. So what we're going to do is sort of fly past the power station, and then it's a right-hand turn to line up with the runway. Okay. Obviously, you can see what's happening here on the navigation display, so you can just make your turns as you feel necessary to get yourself into position. As Sarah, just do what you would normally do, and just to give you a bit of guidance and flying the simulator. Workshop, is that to the Mansfield? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Just north east of Mansfield.
Yeah. I used to work many years ago at Gamston.
Oh yes, yeah.
So your final approach speed is going to be 136 knots. Around 2,500 to 3,000 lower the landing gear, and if you just increase that rate of descent a bit more now. Good. Great, holds the speed really well, 60%. So with the power reduction, we do it at 50 feet. So when you hear the radio altimeter call out 50 feet, just pull the thrust lever back to idle and just hold the attitude. So just try and stabilise the inputs a bit more. A little bit of forward pressure. Good to back onto that cross. Good. Just try to stabilise that. Start to pull back a little bit. Power on. Well done. Good man, that's excellent. And just give it a break there. That was very, very good. Well done. Is there anything else in particular you'd like to do? Anywhere places you'd like to go and shoot the approach? I mean, obviously there's Hong Kong, to do that one.
Yeah, we'll try that one. We'll try a pencil approach.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Do you want to do it in IMC or is it in visual conditions? But just for the instruments.
Yeah, try IMC, yeah.
All right. And where do you fancy going for that?
If it's IMC.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, in that case, just wing it round again.
I've got time to get that signation.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, you've got a good half an hour left, no problem at all. So there's a couple of things we want to do then for this approach. One is just dial up 155 there, which is in V2. The departure heading is 090. 3,000 feet is fine, we'll check trim. We need to set our decision altitude as 300 feet, so on your EFIS there, that's selected there, the one on the left side actually. And then what it does is it changes this here, so what you want to select there is 300. Actually, let's make it 400. Oh, that means that's the decision altitude. We really need to see the runway by that height. Fantastic. That's pretty much us all ready to go. Great. Very foggy.
and then we'll go through the stages of flattener and reduce the speed some more. And then comes the ice slope, so you can set our wheels down close to me. The landing speed now is 136 again. When we get a bit closer, just try and stabilise your inputs. That's it. Just sort of make very gentle directions, and you'll find it'll just sit there very nicely. What you got to do is keep your eye on that cross cape. It looks like it's just going a little bit out. We just make a slight adjustment. Also, when you hear the minimums call out and you transfer your eyes towards the runway, we want to finish off the approach, i.e. the landing part of it, visually.
Yeah, sure,
yeah. If you sort of try and fly the flight rig, it tends to get a bit sort of nose heavy towards the runway.
Approaching minimum.
Same thing when you're hearing say 50 feet, we go power leads back and land.
100. Minimums.
There's minimums.
40, 30, 20,
Good.
10.
Nice. Well done. That was great. Well done. Good job. Spot on. Very good. Should we go have a look at Kaita?
Yeah, go on then.
Good man. If you just come to a start and then I'll reposition us. That was very good, by the way. Well done. How are you finding it in comparison to you got at home?
Very heavy on the controls,
It is,
obviously, because I'm not physically moving a bit on there.
Yeah.
Well, it's just moving the old joystick. And that's what I'm noticing more than anything, how heavy it is.
Yes. Every simulator I've flown, they keep heavy on controls. I don't know why. I wonder if they can try and simulate that you're flying something heavy.
Maybe.
But it's strange because in the real 737, it's all artificial.
Yeah, that's right,
anyway.
yeah.
So you don't feel it.
No. Well, the nephew made 737-800 captain for Jet 2.
Oh, right.
And he says it's second nature, you don't think about it anymore. It's, yeah.
I'm just going to have to go to the computer. I'm just going to sort of whiz my chair back and go to that thing. I just want to bash your knees. Thanks. Perfect. Well, that's everything set up, ready to go. So whenever you want.
I can't see what I'm taking.
There we go, V1 rotate. Good, and we'll just head over to the right. And just reduce those power levels a touch now. We're just going to stay around about 200 knots. Yes, as you know, kite tag just a bit of an unusual turn, really.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
The way I do it is I just follow the approach lighting.
Yeah.
It's will come up to your left ever so shortly. You'll see that light, and then just sort of track for it. We'll turn off the flight directors because they really don't help on this approach. Okay. There it is. It's just popped up. Yeah. Good. I'll turn your flight directors off then, and you just sort of head for it, and then you'll see the right one pop up soon. We've got to really track for that one on the left. Good. So I just sort of let that nose come down a touch now. We can only really get our height management from looking at the runways, right? Yeah. At least, yeah. It's not such a bad thing around the kite out.
Yeah, sure.
Big rate. 1,000. Big rate.
So just a little bit of that pressure.
Big rate. Full up. Big rate.
Good.
400. 300.
So as you go through that second strut, just squeeze that nose over the hill.
Yeah.
Onto the runway. But obviously that depends on how it's you probably find it just that last second it's sort of.
Yeah, I'll see that.
Yeah.
Approaching minimum.
When we taxi back, you'll see how
Yeah.
sort of severe the dip is.
400.
Very nice.
Minimums.
Good height management now. 2 reds, 2
That's
whites.
it, yeah.
300.
This one's spot on. Problem.
200. 100.
Great. That's perfect. Good job, thanks for those thrust. the wall again.
Yeah.
Just use that now to turn us to the left. Use those green lights to vacate the runway. Superb. Just that. And we'll just go to the left. Turn your landing lights off, you'll be able to see a bit better. Look right towards the end of the runway, you can see that dips down. Good, we'll just taxi straight along here, just and find a jetway somewhere, a gate, and we'll park at the gate and down. It's been great, well done. You fly very nicely. Very nicely. Have you ever done the full motion simulator?
No, this first simulation we've been in.
They're fantastic.
I'm sure.
Yeah. They're scarily realistic.
Yeah.
You grip the control and going, so realistic. Very, very good. Have you got multiple screens on your sim at home?
Yeah. 3 for the window.
Yeah.
And 3 for the controls.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
And you've got have you got hardware as well? Have you got some hardware?
I've got the autopilot.
Oh yeah.
The backlight panel switches. But I've just upgraded to Windows 10 and it's not recognising any of them, so I've got to install them all again.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. I don't know why they did away with XP. I used to run FSX on Vista.
Oh really?
Oh, shocking. But I would do this, if you just start turning to the right, there's these this is sort of a parking area.
Yeah.
You'll see all the tugs and baggage people and yeah, I think taxiing is probably the hardest thing about it all.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it, good. And then you can sort of just some tugs and things here. And just sort of swing it round somewhere there. And beautiful. And then to give it a bit of a tap there with the brakes, that'll do it nicely. Well done. If you just select parking brake on. And then select these 2 switches here, which will transfer to the auxiliary power unit, And then what we do is pull those 2 levers back and all the way down. That stops the engines. And then, in reality, what we do is just flick the seatbelt sign off. You do that. And everyone gets out.
Okay.
Good man.
Thank
It's
you
been
very
great to
much.
fly with you. Well done.
Thank you, appreciate that.
No problem at all. It was good.
I need to change your shirt now.
Yeah, it's a bit of a workout, isn't it? Good man.
Lovely.
Good job.
Thank you.
Alright Steve, look, there's a certificate for you. We'll go get that now.
Oh, thank you.
Good man.
Mine? I'm not surprised. It's not the only thing. Well, it's warm in there anyway, but all the probably enough under this control.